Okay. Trading means and includes subscribing, buying, selling, dealing, or agreeing to subscribe, buy, sell, deal in any securities. Trade shall be constituted accordingly. Acha, what is unpublished price sensitive information? Unpublished price sensitive information means any information relating to a company or its securities, directly or indirectly, that is not generally available. I repeat it, that is not generally available. It is not available to the general public, which upon becoming general available is likely to materially affect the price of the securities. Okay, जब वो generally available हो जाएगा, when it is made public, it will affect the price of the securities and shall ordinarily include but not restricted to information relating to the following. But not restricted to information relating to the following. मतलब these are the price sensitive informations, unpublished price sensitive informations, but also at the same time, these are not restricted to this. It may be any other information, but not restricted to information relating to the following. Now, financial results पता कर चल जाए आपको, डिविडेंड देने वाले ये भी अगर पता चल जाए आपको, चेंजेस इन कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर, merger, demerger, acquisition, delisting, disposal of expansion of business and other such transactions, and also at the same time the change in the key managerial personnel. As I told you, an important person who is going to resign, who is going to be changed, a company secretary is going to be changed. In recent past years, we have also seen that when a good company secretary leaves a company and we know about it, he is famous, okay, then what happens? The price drops completely. Okay, see, it's a mixture of a lot of stuff. You have to be very, very mature to understand all this stuff. Okay, you just need to be famous by what? By just doing nothing? No, you have to do a lot of work. Then you become famous. This is the good way to be famous. And also at the same time, if you have good luck, you'll be famous. Understand? Unnecessary famous. That time also public will love you. Now, it's all about public. As we idolize a lot of people, we do idolize a lot of people, right? A lot of people idolize Salman Khan. Idolize करते भाई मेरे. Idolize मतलब भैया मेरे को तो उनके जैसे बनना है. A lot of people idolizes this gangsters, right? A lot of people idolizes the bad guys. A lot of people idolizes the TikTokers. So what happened is this: we are idolizing them, right? We are idolizing them, isn't it? Now that is a completely different and unprofessional way to idolize some people of no basis. Understood? But I'm talking over here. What I'm talking is we are idolizing people which are very important for the company, which are very, very important for the company. And if they drop off, if they leave the company, what happens? The company share market, the price, fluctuates a lot. Now this fluctuation, the leaving of them, the key managerial person we are talking about, the key managerial person, that means the company secretaries we are including, the CEO we are including. So all these persons, if they are leaving the company, for example, Sundar Pichai, if it happens to be Sundar Pichai leaves Google, Alphabet, what will happen? What will happen if I get to know this first and nobody else knows? Before any public announcement, I get to know this. I will sell my this Google shares, right? I'll sell my Alphabet shares. What will happen? The thing is, I'll get an advantage before this comes out public. The share market, the share will definitely fall. So, and the share market actually waits for something, spicy. If anything spicy news comes out, they will fluctuate like anything. And so they dances very much. Okay, so these are the basic informations which I wanted you all to know. I will dictate you some definitions also at the same time. Like insider trading का definition लिख लो, मैं यहाँ पे बता देता हूँ, ठीक है? You may write it over here also at the same time. Insider trading means dealing on the basis of unpublished price sensitive information. You can write this line, okay? So that in future when you are opening this paper, this book, then you will realize that okay, this is the entire thing. Insider trading means dealing on the basis of unpublished price sensitive information. Okay, this chapter will carry around 5 to 8 marks, but it's very general that 5 marks questions come from this chapter, and the questions are asked from the definitions only. The things which I'm going to mark, I'm going to teach you this chapter on the basis of examination, okay, on the basis of exam basis, so that the questions which are asked in examinations, I'll explain you those stuff, those important things, okay, and not read the entire thing because it is not necessary to read all the stuff. Okay, now these are the things. Listen: restriction on communication or producement of unpublished price sensitive information. Restrictions on communications or procurement of unpublished price sensitive information. Insider not to communicate any UPSA unpublished price sensitive information except for performing duties and legal obligation. No person to procure or cause the communication by an insider of UPSI except for performing duties and legal obligations. If you're an insider, or even if you're not an insider, if you're no one also, but you should not communicate any kind of UPSI. UPSI means unpublished price sensitive information. Okay, so I'm sorry for my pronunciation. I said unsensitive. It happens. Unpublished price sensitive information. You have to remember this. It is always sensitive. So unpublished price sensitive information, you should not pass. You should not communicate this to other people until and unless you are doing your duty. It is your duty to make a public announcement. That is something else, right? Now, exceptions in connection with the transaction, that word. Now, this one, disclosure requirements. You have to understand this very properly. Disclosure requirements. I am telling you again and again, the definitions are coming in the examination. Like, for example, this definition. If you talk about this definition, insider, this came for 4 mark. This definition, deemed to be connected person, this came for 4 mark. Okay, the past examinations that I'm talking about. Connected person came for 4 mark. Okay, the past examinations. These are immediate relative, 4 mark, and this one price sensitive information also 4 mark. So this came in the examination. I'm repeating again, do not read unnecessary stuff which you will just occupy your head. You can read all this, you can just read, but no need to memorize or mug up all this stuff. Okay, what are the important stuff? I'm just going over there. Okay, this disclosure requirement. What? Please repeat. Disclosure requirement. Now there are some initial disclosures that we need to make. Now this initial disclosures and continual disclosures are important. Okay, this comes in the examination. Initial disclosures and continual disclosures. Initial disclosures means every promoter, member of the promoter group, listen very carefully, every promoter, member of the promoter group, key managerial personnel and director of every company whose securities are listed on any recognized stock exchange shall disclose his holding of securities of the company as on the date of their regulations takes effect of the company within 30 days of this regulations taking effect. So within 30 days you have to let them know about what? Your holding. Now which regulations we are talking about? We are talking about the SEBI prohibition of insider trading regulations. Okay, when this takes effect, that already took effect. Okay, you have to make within 30 days you have to let them know. These are the initial disclosures which the time is gone. Okay, and everybody already made these disclosures, so you don't have to remember this. But continual disclosures are such things which you need to disclose every now and then. Okay, it is a continual basis. So initial disclosure days are over of this. Okay, iska time khatam ho chuka hai initial disclosure ka. So let's learn about this. Every person on appointment of key managerial personnel, director of company, or upon becoming a promoter. Now this is very important. This is very, very important. Every person on appointment of a key managerial personnel, you are appointing a key managerial personnel, director of company, or upon becoming a promoter, member of promoter group, shall disclose his holding of securities as soon as the date of appointment. This is very important. Okay, within 7 days. So this is 30 days. This is 7 days. 30 days from when the regulations took place. This is already done by each and every company and each and every person in this world. And this is something which you have to do in a continual basis also at the same time. Initial disclosure means when you're the first time, pehla bar, you became a director, you became a KMP, you became a promoter, or you became a member of the promoter group. Okay, you have to let them know about your shareholding. And what about continual disclosure, sir? Continual disclosure means every promoter, member or promoter group, designated person and director of every company shall disclose to the company the number of such securities acquired or disposed within 2 trading days of such transaction if the value of securities traded wherein one transaction, a series transaction over any calendar quarter aggregates to traded value in excess of 10 lakh rupees or such other value as may be specified. So when you're making a transaction of around 10 lakh rupees, you have to let them know. Okay, you have to let them know that we are making a transaction of around 10 lakh rupees. When you're talking about calendar quarter, it means 6 months. Okay, when you're talking about calendar quarter, it means 6 months. पिछले 6 महीने में if you're making a transaction of around 10 lakh rupees, in excess of 10 lakh rupees, then you have to let them know okay, we are making a transaction of 10 lakh rupees. Now who would have to let them know? Promoter, member of promoter group, designated partner persons and all that stuff. Okay, 6 months, you write here 6 months so that you won't forget about it. Last but not the least, every company shall notify the particulars of such trading to the stock exchange on which the securities are listed within 2 trading days of receipt of the disclosure or from being aware of such information. Every company shall notify the particulars of such trading. Sir, which trading we are talking about? The trading we are talking about above. Okay, all this, every company shall notify particulars of such trading to the stock exchange. You have to let the stock exchange know about this, on which the securities are listed within 2 trading days of receipt of the disclosure or from being aware of such information. ठीक है, चलो, okay, हो जाएगा sir. Now you can see these things. Now you can read from here. These things I have explained above. You can read from here also, not a problem. Okay, you just have to read from here. This is homework and do read it, okay? This is going to come in the examination. This is homework and there is nothing like you wouldn't be able to understand over here. This is very, very simple. You have to understand and this is homework, okay? These are the things that we're talking about: promoter, also the director, okay? And the key managerial personnel, KMP. All together we are talking about them, isn't it? We're talking about them. And the good part is that we have to make initial disclosure and also continual disclosure at the same time, okay? Okay. Next we're going to see the code of fair disclosure, which is very important, okay? Code of fair disclosure, क्या बताइए? Code of fair disclosure. What do you understand by this code of fair disclosure? These are just some important principles and disclosures that are need to be made, but you have to write down what do you actually mean by code of fair disclosure. I don't think they have given any definition over here. Okay, they have given here. Code of fair disclosure, they have given a short definition over here. What they said over here is this: they said board of directors of listed company to formulate and publish a code of practice and procedure for fair disclosure of UPSI on the official website of the company. What do you mean by this? This means that how do you practice? How do you formulate stuff on how do you disclose this UPSI? Okay, any unpublished price sensitive information. Okay, how do you make it a fair disclosure? Fair disclosure means, I told you, I give an example that this company has 10 lakh shareholders, okay, and only 20 people of them knew about the special unpublished price sensitive information. So this is not fair disclosure. Fair disclosure means everybody in the world connected with this company knows about it at the same time. Understood? That is fair disclosure. Now how do you make this possible, UPSI? How do you make this possible? How do you make this fair disclosure of UPSI possible? You have to let us know the practice, the procedure that you follow, and how do you let us know? By writing it down in the company's website, okay, on how the disclosure is actually made. So this is the entire meaning of code of fair disclosure. We'll go over here. This is very important, okay. What principle of fair disclosure shall be follows? Prompt public disclosure. Prompt public disclosure. Prompt public disclosure of unpublished price sensitive information that could impact price discovery no sooner than credible and concentrated information comes into being, in order to make such information generally available. Okay, you have to be very careful when you're making any public disclosure. When the credible informations are there, concrete information is there, that time only you make it such disclosures. Uniform and universal dissemination. Dissemination means spreading. You write it down over here, spreading. SPREADING, spreading. Okay, spreading. So what does this say? Uniform and universal spreading of unpublished price sensitive information. This means that you have to make it uniform. Uniform means सबको एक समय पता लगे, right? So avoid selective disclosures. Avoid, you can write it down here over here. You write it here, okay? What I'm saying now, what I'm repeating, you write it down here. Avoid selective disclosures. क्या बताइए? Avoid selective disclosures. Next is designation of a senior officer. You just have to remember this, okay? As a chief investor regulation officer, you have to designate some person. Prompt dissemination. मतलब making the information generally available. Generally available. Making the information generally available. Appropriate and fair response to queries by the regulatory authorities. If any queries are being made, then you have to make the appropriate and fair response. ऐसा नहीं कि क्वेरी में तो आप कुछ सीक्रेट ही बता दिए उनको, ठीक है, डोंट लेट दैट हैपन. एनालिस्ट एंड रिसर्च पर्सनल को बिठाओ, ओके. Ensuring that information shared with analyst and research personnel is not unpublished price sensitive information. Always remember this, that if you are sharing information with any kind of analyst and research personnel, then make sure that you're not sharing the unpublished price sensitive information, right? Next is best practice to make transcript or record proceeding of meetings. Okay, handling of unpublished price sensitive information on a need to know basis. So that's all over here, okay. That's all over here that we all need to understand and read. Okay, you have to read only this much. Next, what I'm going to teach you is, these are not required, okay. Then this part are not required. Okay, now this penalties is something which I'm giving you homework. You have to read this homework, okay.